If you're not rich yet, I hate to tell you this, but it has to do with your habits. See, many people think that getting rich has to do with luck, talent, and the right connections. And I'll be honest, those things do help, don't get me wrong, but the true wealth building blocks has to do with your daily habits and your way of thinking. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 wealth building habits that rich people swear by and that maybe you can follow to help you reach your financial success. Stay with me. So the first wealth building habit that I'm going to share with you guys is, and especially in this generation, create more than you consume. Especially in this generation where we doom scroll, and the average doom scrolling time per day is almost 3 hours. That is insane. That is almost 3 full work days in a week. Do you know what you can do in 3 full work days in a week for yourself, for your business? Like, you can find leads for your business if that's what you do. You can find a way to start a business. You can find different ways to make money. You can focus on wealth building habits, which is what this video is about, instead of doom scrolling and just spending time watching other people make their money, because that's what it is. You know, these platforms, they want you to stay on their platforms so they can make money off of you with ads, etc., when you could be doing the same thing for you. So I heard this great, I'm not gonna say a quote, but it was from the Kardashians, and one of them said, post and ghost. And you know, the Kardashians, as many, like, people criticize them for whatever it is, but they're rich. At the end of the day, they're rich. None of this stuff matters to them, right? And the rich and famous, which they are, say post and ghost. So why are other people that want to get rich, I don't know about getting famous, if that's important to you or not, but if you want to get rich, why are you maybe posting, but you're doom scrolling as well? Like, that's something that we have to change. We have to get the habit of. We have to control our mind and our thoughts. That's how we are going to get out of whatever situation that you want to get out of financially, right? I'm not going to say poverty, but we want to be better financially. That is the goal, okay? So Kardashian money could be the goal. So let's post and ghost and create more than we consume, guys, all right? And the next one, I've heard this since I was young, and I never really paid attention to it until I got older. And that is, stay away from the wrong people. I don't know if growing up your mother told you, I don't want you hanging out with that kid, or your friend, I don't like your friend, etc. Stay away from, don't hang out with them. And it's because our parents already been through this, and they know that there's certain people that we shouldn't be hanging around with, and they can see that before we can, obviously, because they have more experience and they're older than us. But as a young children that we were, we probably didn't listen, or we just liked our friend and we thought we know more than everything, until we grow and we're like, this is what they were talking about. So I'm pretty sure you've heard of the 5 people that you hang out with, you're going to be the 6th. So if you hang out with 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th broke. If you hang out with 5 rich people, you're probably going to be the 6th rich, etc., and goes on. Like, if you hang around 5 fit and healthy people, you're most likely going to be the 6th. So this is super important that you do. Stay away from gossip. This is like the filter that I use, right? If I see someone that's always gossiping and talking about somebody else, that's somebody that I'm most likely going to stay away from, because they're probably going to do it to you, and you don't want to be caught up in the gossiping, and that just drain your energy and is low vibrational, and you don't want that in your life, right? You want to stay up here, okay? Lazy people that don't want to do anything, they just want to stay on the sofa, watch movies, doom scroll, do things that are not productive. And I'm not saying take time off. You know, I think we all need our time to, like, relax and watch a movie, right? But if this is like a daily thing, couple times a week, where you're just not doing anything and you're moping around, not somebody you want to hang around with. People that are unethical. If you have a friend that is cheating on a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, probably not someone you want to hang around with. Just because it speaks on their morals and values, and these are things that are probably not. They're going to show in the business side of things, and you don't want to deal with that. So these are filters that I use to, you know, filter out friends and people that I want to hang around with. And again, if you find somebody that is excited for you when you talk about business, that cheers for you, that gives you motivation, that gives you idea, that pushes you to be better, those are the type of friends you want to hang out with, and the crew that you want around you to be successful. Okay, let's move on to the next one. And this is one that struggled with, and I think we all struggle with at some point in our life, and that is procrastination, guys. How many times we wanted to start something and we'll just, I'll do it tomorrow. How many times did we say, I'm going to do this, but you don't really start it? How many times you say, I'm going to start the gym tomorrow, and you don't really start? Procrastination is the killer of big dreams, ladies and gentlemen. This is one habit that many, I'm not gonna say, I think all rich people conquer in their minds, and it all starts here, right? You don't want to start 9 times out of 10, not because of anything physical, not because of anything that's really getting in the way. You're most likely putting things in the way in your mind that is keeping you from moving forward in this section, okay? So one thing you have to get used to is acting before you start feeling, okay? If you think about it too long, then you probably won't get it done, because you start putting in front of yourself that this is gonna go wrong, this is gonna go wrong, or putting obstacles that don't really exist. And a lot of the times we see people that are further ahead of us, and it's not because they're better than us, it's not because they're smarter than us, it's because they're just not afraid to take risks, okay? So you have to be willing to take the risk, not overthink things, and just go for it, okay? Stop procrastinating. So number 4 is gratitude, okay? Throughout this whole journey of trying to figure out how we're gonna get our finances in shape, how we're gonna get rich, right? How we're gonna be wealthy, we have to focus on the positive. We can't always just focus on the negative, because then we're gonna turn into negative Nancy's, and we don't want that. We wanna attract the positivity. So one of the habits that many wealthy people do, including myself, is that we like to journal in the morning, or anytime. Not necessarily has to be in the morning, but we do like to journal and write down things that we are grateful for. You know, if you want to find things that you're grateful for, go back to maybe a list that you have done and check off the things that you've accomplished. Maybe you've forgotten that you've accomplished certain things that you haven't checked off, and you'll start building up this confidence and this good feeling, okay? Are you grateful for the health that you have to go forward, and you can try and reach your financial goals? Are you grateful for getting up in the morning and working out? That's a goal that you accomplished that day. Are you know, I don't want to say the gratitudes for you. Everybody has different ones, but just start writing down gratitudes. It'll just make you feel so much better. And it'll just give you, or put you in this space where you focus on positivity, and therefore it'll give you motivation to move forward and keep continuing in your journey, okay? Super important to be grateful for what you have accomplished so far. Number 5 is automate, guys. And this has many benefits to it. When I say automate, I mean your bills, your car note, your insurance, your light bill, your mortgage, anything that you pay on a monthly basis, put it on automate so you do not have to think about it. Why? Because you want to focus on the task at hand. You want to focus on growing your business. You want to focus on getting more business. You would want to focus on building and making, instead of paying and just distraction, which pretty much that's what it is. And automating has many benefits. It's not just only about automating your bills, which is super important, obviously, but I'm gonna read this to you. So just have my note here, and I think I've read this and I was like, this is great. It says, do not save and invest what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving and investing. And what that pretty much says is, if you automate your bills and you automate what you're going to save, then whatever is left in that account, you can just spend it, because your savings is already done, your investing is already done, it's already automated, right? Your investment and your savings, and then your bills are already paid. So what you have left over is play money, if that's how you want to see it, right? So that is much better than you paying your bills, or going out shopping and then paying these bills and taking out what's left for savings. Like you're doing it backwards. So you want to automate everything. And again, I'm going to read it again because I think this is so great. Do not save and invest what is left after spending, okay? But spend what is left after saving and investing. I'm going to just let you simmer with that one there for a little bit. Let's go on to the next. Write down your goals and be very specific, Okay, be very, very specific. For example, you want a car. You want a $30,000 car. Therefore, you need X amount of money every month out of an account to save up for this car. You want it in this color. You want it be very, very detailed and specific with your goal, because that's going to help you throughout the journey to get to the end goal of this. Okay, because if you're very vague about it, there'll be certain steps that you're going to miss that you might need to get to that goal, and then that's going to just throw you off the tracks, and then you're probably not going to end up reaching that goal. So be very, very specific on the goal that you want. It could be a house. I just use a car as an example. It could be a house. It could be you want to save, I don't know, $20,000, right? Be very, very specific. $20,000, what account you're going to put it in. Is it going to be in a high yield savings account? Is it going to be in a regular savings account? By when do you want the $20,000? How much do you need to put away to get the $20,000? Be very, very specific and detailed. And if you can, do like a checklist every month just to make sure you are on track with what you're doing. So be very, very detailed with your goals. Okay, that's something that the wealthy are very, very, very keen on, is detail and staying on track with the goals. All right, and the next one is track our spending, or track your spending in this case. And this is something very, very important that a lot of us should do, but we don't do it. It's very important. I suggest having like a spreadsheet on things that you need to get done and pay, so you can know where the money is going towards. Because if we're just taking money out of accounts, whether it's checking, savings, or whatever the case may be, and you don't know where it's going, if you don't know where your money's going, then it's just gonna go, and then you'll have no control of it, and you can't really pull back and see like what's going on. So it's very, very important. Again, this falls under detailed as well. Having a nice spreadsheet with all your bills, your goals, your future you, emergency funds, all these things. Make sure you know where your money is going so you don't lose your money, because that's what happens. You know, I don't know, it's happened to me before where I've had X amount of money, and next thing you know, I'm like, where did this money go? And I've had no idea because I wasn't tracking. So tracking is very, very important. Okay, detail, tracking, important. And this is one thing that the wealthy do not care about, and it's a habit of them, and it's they do not care about what other people think. You need to stop caring about what other people think, especially the people that don't have the same goals, don't have the same views as you, and are criticizing you. Like, why do you care what somebody thinks that doesn't really care about what you like? You know, why does their opinion matter? Like, they don't want to go down the same road you want to go to. They don't have the same goals. They don't have the same vision. So why does it matter? So you have to start learning how to cut people off. One, which we already spoke about, that falls into, you know, you are who you surround yourself with. But also you have to stop or start giving I was going to say a blind eye. I guess that could work. But becoming deaf to the noise of the outside people that don't really matter. Okay, maybe, you know, your family members that you care about, those are people that maybe you should, you know, care about what they think, because they're important people to us. But the outside world, no, we have to drown out the noise and focus on what we got to do so we can get to where we want to go to. And a lot of times we let those opinions of others get in the way of our goals and our dreams, and we don't reach them because of that. So one of the habits that the wealthy use is they drown out the noise and the outside opinion of others that don't really matter. And the last one on the list is learn how to say no. A lot of the times we like helping others because we're just good-hearted people. We were brought up, I'll speak in my case, I was brought up to help as many people as I can. Nothing wrong with that, right? But sometimes we have to be selfish with our times in order to do the things that we need to get done, right? And especially if we're being invited to parties or gatherings that we really don't care. Sometimes we just go because we feel bad. Don't do that. You know, you have to rewire your brain and learn how to say no. It's not going to be the end of the world. You need that time for yourself, even if it's time for you to be resting. Okay, that's time. That's your personal time. You don't get time back. You know, you can get anything back, anything materialistic, you can get it back, but you can't get back your time. Okay, and even if it's, you know, you want to take a certain day to rest and not be bothered, and you're invited to do something, you feel bad, Try not to feel bad. That's your time. Invest in yourself. Do not waste time. If you do not want to go out and do something with a friend or a person, whether it's be drinking, partying, or just to get together and gossip, like, you do not have to, okay? Definitely have a list of your don'ts. Put them on there, and if you're invited to do any of those, it's okay to say no, okay? All right, so those were some of the habits that the rich use to reach their financial success. I've read many of them in many different books from many different people. I've also heard of many of the wealthy speak about these in public speeches that they do. So hopefully you can take some of these habits and apply them to yourself so it can help you reach your financial goals. All right, so if you're liking the value that this video provides, please give this video a thumbs up. It'll really help me grow my channel. And if you're really serious about growing your wealth and your mindset, subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment down below and let me know which of the habits you'll start applying in your life today. Remember, I upload a video every single week, so I will catch you next week. Till the next one.